Hi, and welcome to Transformation with Susan Pohl. We've been talking about emotion the last couple weeks ago about how to sit in emotion and what that feels like. And last week, we talked about emotion in the body and how that feels, and to be mindful of take care of the emotion, right? Because it will take you down if you don't. Today, I have a lovely guest with me, and we're going to be talking about self-compassion as a part of healing, moving through emotion by sitting in it. Part of that comes with self-compassion. And so I want to introduce Amy Pattee Colvin. When I think of self-compassion, she always comes to my mind. I met her years ago at a fair we did in the same space. She's the author of this book, Cultivating Compassion. And it's a book full of great ideas and ways to do just that, to take time for yourself to reflect. So, Patty, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I will ask you a question or two.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Susan, for having me join you and all of your listeners today. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Amy Pattee Colvin, and I have been studying meditation with a teacher who teaches a blend of Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism for about 30 years. I ended up going through a certification program at Stanford to teach their compassion cultivation training program. And then I just have taken the best of all of that and blended it together. So that's a little bit about me. And I am looking forward to talking with all of you about compassion, particularly for self today.
Thank you. I'm so glad to have you visit with us. I want to the group to know that in the month of December, we're going to be doing several posts on and around self-compassion. But Patty, let me ask you and turn a few minutes over to you to talk about self-compassion, how we benefit from that. What does it look like? What does it feel like? You go ahead.
So let's start with a definition of compassion. And this is something that I've adapted from the compassion cultivation training program. And I really like it because it's thought-provoking. So it comes in three parts. This compassionate definition is in three parts. The first definition or first piece of the definition is that you have to be aware of either distress or suffering in yourself or others. So there's so many things going on in the world out there that if we were constantly tuned in to trying to be compassionate about everything, we would be a big puddle on the floor. But the first thing is being aware of suffering or distress in yourself or others. The second piece is being emotionally moved. So we can be aware of all kinds of things, but we're not always emotionally moved by them. So this second component is really bringing in, wow, I'm feeling something, just like you've been talking about the last couple of sessions, the last couple of weeks about emotions. Is that emotion that you're feeling? Is it sadness? Is it frustration? Is it anger? Can you even identify which of those emotions it might be? And then the third piece, and this is the most important piece, and this is what I love about this definition, is that you take action. So specifically today, we're going to talk about things that you can do that are that taking action step when thinking of self-compassion. So again, you're aware of distress or suffering in yourself. You are emotionally moved by it. You're willing to be vulnerable with yourself and go, I'm having this strong emotion, rather than pushing it away and denying it, honoring that you have it. And again, Susan has talked with you about sitting in your emotion. And then the third step then is taking action. So this is where the meat of self-compassion comes from my perspective is, now that I've felt it, what do I do with it? And there are so many things that you can do. I know Susan's a big fan of breathing. So breathing, slowing it down, and breathing is a start. In a moment, we'll get to a couple of easy qigong things that you can do to help shift that energy. But I would say one of the biggest aspects of cultivating self-compassion is saying for yourself and truly believing it, I am enough and I will grow and become even better. So if you can get to the point where you can say that and you can believe it, and to me, that it's such a huge statement because it allows you to forgive yourself for your mistakes and learn from them and move on. You're not stuck in them because I am enough. Even if I made a mistake, and all of us are human, so no matter what, we're all going to make mistakes every day. I am enough and I am willing to grow and become even better. So you're not saying, and from an ego standpoint, I'm enough, because you're following it up with every day, in every moment, I'm going to continue to grow and I'm going to move into being the best person that I can be. And the best person I can be for anyone else is when I have self-compassion, when I take care of myself first so that I can sustainably extend that out to everyone else. So that's a tiny start to your question. Do you want to redirect me in a different way around that, or do you have any thoughts or questions you want to add right at this moment, Susan?
First, I love your words. They are exactly what we've been talking about. I'd love for you to be able to introduce a little bit of what you do. We're a little familiar with meditation, and I don't know who's familiar with qigong, and I know it can be very helpful in moving energy and freeing blocks. So if you could address a little bit of that, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. So again, from my perspective, and again, my home practice, my heart practice with meditation is largely this blend of Taoism and Confucianism and Buddhism, and with heavy on the Taoism. And my teacher often says, it's not about how long you sit, it's the quality. And the essence of that meditation, for me at least, versus mindfulness, is meditation brings you into that connection with the higher self, with the divine within, with that spark that makes you unique, whatever you want to call it. So you're not just being mindful, you are being mindful, you're being present in this particular moment, but above and beyond that, you're settling inside and you're connecting with that divine within. So for me, that is the essence of meditation. And then, as you can see, I tend to talk with my hands. I'm a very kinesthetic learner, so and person. So that's one of the reasons why I love qigong. And a really basic explanation of qigong is that it's a combination of intention, being intentionally present in this moment, breathing deeply and fully, and moving. So it's this, I noticed it's another three-part thing. Apparently I like three-part things. So let's just do a really simple qigong exercise that you can practice anywhere. And it really helps settle emotion. And you can do it standing, but since Susan and I are both sitting right now, we'll do it sitting. So what I want you to do is, and I'm just going to hold my hands in the air at the moment. You can drop them down by your sides if you like. What I want you to do is just start shaking your hands at the wrist. Just shake your hands and then get your arms in there. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your throat and neck to relax. You're just wiggling around, and then you can actually shoot it out to the front. You can shoot it over your head. And then if you are standing, you can gently bounce on your knees a little bit and get a little rhythm going in your hips and your tailbone. And breathe deeply. We're staying in this present moment. We're shaking, breathing deeply and fully. And just go ahead and let that movement gently come to a close. Allow your hands to drop down by your sides. And notice that sense of tingling and warmth that you have in your hands right now. You have just moved energy in your body. I mean, yes, you have oxygenated your system. You're getting your blood pumping, but you're also moving your qi, which is that essential life force energy. Now, if you are standing, this is such a wonderful, simple exercise to do if you're feeling a strong emotion. So, and I used to be a massage therapist at Google, and I would use this on occasion. before going in to see clients. Let's say I was at work and I'd gotten some bad news and I was just heartsick with this bad news, but I had to be present to walk into a session with a client. So I would go off into a quiet side space and I would stand there and I would drop my gaze, I'd close my eyes, I'd breathe deeply, and I would shake. And that transforms tension into vitality. It transforms those really strong emotions and regrounds you and brings you back to center. Super quick, super easy. And it doesn't, I mean, and perhaps that news is really joyful, like you just won the lotto or the lottery and you're super excited about that, but you have to be present for a meeting or for a doctor's visit or for something else. And you've got all of that excited energy coursing through you. Shake for just 30, 60 seconds. Transform that big energy back into something stable and grounded. Bring it back to center. So that is an example of qigong that I really like. And there's a couple of things that I also really like. I put together a whole series. Susan will give you my contact information, or you can contact me via my website. But I put together a video of a mudra series that I put together that focuses on cultivating compassion. So a mudra is just a Sanskrit word for hand position, and every hand position has a different energy signature. So let's just try this one for now. So what I want y'all to do is put your thumb tips together, put your pinky tips together, bring the base of your hands together. So you're making like this giant lotus flower. We're going to tip it up. We're going to bring our hands down as far as is comfortable, beneath, to the center of our chest. Extend those fingers. So it's going to take some muscle energy to extend those fingers. Now, drop your gaze and close your eyes, whichever is more comfortable for you. And just breathe deeply and fully in through the nose, all the way down into the belly. This mudra represents compassion. It represents a lotus flower. The energy signature of this mudra is all about compassion. And since today we're talking about self-compassion, what I want you to do is imagine that lotus flower is acting like a funnel, and all of the love and compassion from all beings, known and unknown, all those good thoughts about you and for you, are flowing towards you and coming down through that lotus flower into your body and into your heart. Really feel the warmth and joy of all that goodness from others flowing into the hands, into the body. Breathing deeply and fully, connecting with that sense of compassion for yourself. And as you receive compassion from others for yourself, add your own compassion for yourself to the mix. And let's go ahead and release our hands, relax them, open your eyes. So there's a couple of real simple things we can do. Something else popped into my head. It's going to have to come back though. Any thoughts, questions, observations, Susan, that you have?
I just want to say those are both great. I know in the services I provide with finding old stuck energy, freeing up, the one of shaking the hands and arms is wonderful, because as we release energy, it has to go through the process of leaving. And so that is just so supportive of again releasing some of that stuck energy. And I absolutely love the lotus because, again, we don't slow down enough at times to allow ourselves to bring in that self-love and compassion. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much. I want to say to look forward to and watch for events as they happen between now and the end of January, around just that authentic, beautiful self that you are. Patty, Amy Pattee, tell us how we can contact you.
Thanks for asking. So the easiest way to reach me or learn more about what kinds of things I'm offering is to go to my website, which is amypatteecolvin.com. So it's AMYPATTEECOLVIN.com, amypatteecolvin.com. And at that website, you'll learn a little bit about me, the kinds of things that I'm offering. I am getting ready to launch a brand new program in the first quarter of next year that's filled with bite-sized tidbits. So again, meditation doesn't have to be that 15-minute to an hour-long thing. As Susan's pointed out, you can access my book. You can get it on Amazon. It is filled with bite-sized ideas to help you cultivate compassion. So that's what this new course I'm working on is doing, is working with that. And then also I lead international spiritual tours where we go to really fantastic places around the world. And we not only look at beautiful landscapes and ancient cultures and current cultures, but we practice meditation and qigong every day. And we follow this wonderful story arc that takes you from self-appreciation and self-acceptance into self-compassion, into compassion for loved ones, into compassion for people we find to be difficult. And so all of that happens on the tours that I lead. All of that will happen in this new program that I'm building. So again, find me on my website. There is a pop-up box. If you'd like to be on my newsletter list, you can fill out the pop-up box. It'll give you an action guide to some of my favorite qigong tools that you can use. And also I'm out there on Facebook at Facebook.com/Amy Pattee Colvin. So that's how everyone can reach me.
Great. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate your energy and the things that you do to help others.
Thank you so much, Susan. It's been wonderful chatting with you today, and I'm very honored that I get to be a part of what you're building for your community.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the group next Thursday.
Sounds great. Bye for now.